are in the cellar with Dominique Lafon in the village of Meursault. Hi, Dominique.
Hi, Daniel.
One of my closest and oldest friends in Burgundy, and who introduced me to the joys of Burgundy, the celebration of Burgundy, and I'm very proud to be here with Dominique. And Dominique, I just want to ask you a couple of questions about your domain, maybe a quick history of the domain, and your grandfather was the creator of La Polée de Meursault, one of the great traditions in sharing wine and bringing people together. So could you tell us just a few words?
Yes. First of all, it's not my grandfather, it's my great-grandfather.
Yes, your
Jules
great-grandfather.
Lafon was my great-grandfather. And I think this man was quite special. He was a wealthy person. He was a collector of fine art. And he built this domain like having the best pieces of vineyard around him at a time when the wine was not selling. So it was not for making money. It was like an art investment for the future. And I think he's been like a visionary for that. And every day I work here, I thank him a lot for being able to work all these beautiful vineyards. So the domain now is 17 hectares. When I took over, it was 12.5, with a big piece of Volnay-Centenot du Milieu, which is the best part of Centenot, with Volnay-Champagne, Volnay-Clos des Chênes, Montes-les-Durets, so it's only Premier Cru reds. The best of Perrières, the best of Charmes, best of Genevrière and Goutte d'Or. The Clos de la Barre, which is a monopole. And we do also a cuvée of Meursault Village.
And a small cuvée of Montrachet.
And my great-grandfather had it was a long history. I think it took him 2 years to buy that piece of Montrachet, which is the 3rd hectare, which makes like 4 to 6 barrels a year, which is quite exceptional. And it was like, that was his idea of collecting things, of having beauty in his cellar. He was a member of the Club des Cents, which was a gastronome type of guys, and a meeting and having good wines. And I think that was his idea, to be able to serve great wines to his friends. If you see it from now, it's like I don't think we could be able to reproduce that, buying that amount of vineyards and all these beautiful vineyards and having that connection right now.
But this is where, I think that you have the same genetic makeup as your great-grandfather. I meant to say your great-grandfather before, but you called him a visionary. And I think that you, in a way, are a visionary. You used to be called the new generation of Burgundy. You with Christophe Roumier and Etienne Griveaux and so on. Now you guys are not the young generation anymore.
No more.
We're the same generation, so I understand. But you're a visionary in the sense that you went to explore the Mâconnais, and you're doing other things also, and it's the only way to do it today in Burgundy.
I like to move. I cannot be stable and happy with just what I have and just keep on just doing it every year. I think I'd get bored if I was only doing the same thing and be happy with it. So yes, we started the Mâconnais in 1999, and now that this estate is getting to a beautiful size, making great wines. We added more vineyards 2 years ago at this domain, with more Meursault Village, with the Bouchère and Port-Rousseau. So now I think we're the only estate in Meursault to have all the collection of Premier Cru. I like new ideas. I'm very open to new ideas and new things.
But what I've always discovered with you, and sharing times with you and bottles with you, is that you're not a snob about wine. That it doesn't have to be Montrachet or Meursault Premier. That you get as much enjoyment from drinking a great Macon or a great Beaujolais or something that's very simple but well made. And so respect for the quality and the workmanship, the craft, and the joy that the wine brings.
I think most of what happens with wine and good wines, and it's not only labels and great names, it's sharing. And you can share a great Aligoté or a Macon, or Beaujolais, or an outstanding Grand Cru from the Côte de Nuit with the same feeling. You have to know that behind a bottle, there's work, there's workers, there's people who work these vineyards and who put a lot of efforts to it. And whether it comes from a great vineyard or a more simple vineyard, it can be really good and enjoyable. It's just like you have to know where you are. And I wouldn't drink a Montrachet just like for an aperitif at noon. You know, you have to have Macon or Aligoté or wines from the Loire and have fun with it. And there's a time for Montrachet, and there's a time for Meursault, and there's time for Beaujolais, and there's time for every kind of wines.
Exactly, and I think that, well, thanks to you and your family and the experiences that you've allowed me to have, introduced me to, that I fell in love with the Burgundian spirit and tried to introduce that a little bit to New Yorkers and to Americans with the Paulet. And people understand that bringing people together and sharing these bottles of wine. And we've shared some other good times together also. I have another question. Do you like rock and roll?
I do.
Yeah. Your favorite rock and roll band?
Well, it should be Rolling Stones.
Yeah,
I like
so.
Bob Dylan too. Yeah, but I'd like to express that to you, Daniel, because you know we've done that for a long time now, and I still remember the first time we did the Paulet in 1992, I guess.
Yeah.
And you brought that idea, which was a crazy, stupid, fun thing in between friends, winemakers, and you, to such a big success, and with the same idea of sharing and having fun, which I think respects what is Burgundy. And every time I go to the Paulet, either in New York or in San Francisco, there is that thing of, it's kind of fancy, but there's something simple about bringing bottles and having fun and just sharing things. And you picked that because you know Burgundy well enough, and you brought it to the US. And I think you have done so much for the work we do and to support the work we do here in Burgundy. And I would like to thank you a lot for that, my friend.
Thank you, Dominique.